Coffee with Keto Simple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee. Grab that coffee, settle in today. This might be one of the most honest conversations I've had on this channel in a long time. Now, I don't think that I have lied to myself necessarily. But I also don't think necessarily I've been 100% honest either. I've been living this lifestyle for nearly a decade, and I've seen what it can do. Not just weight loss, mental clarity, confidence, better sleep, more energy, less food noise, a simpler life overall. And somehow, along the way, I have let that simplicity slip. And today I want to talk about that mental shift, how it happened quietly, how life changes compounded it, and what rebuilding intentional living actually looks like for me right now. I mean, as we know, there's a lot of things happening in my house, a lot of things happening in our life. For those of you who may not be fully aware, we had all the kids moved back in. Over the last year, we've gone from being empty nesters with just my wife and I, Chandra and I, living here by ourselves, to having our boys, our daughter, her fiance, our granddaughter, and then a granddaughter that's coming on Friday. It's a lot of changes to go from living by ourselves, living intentionally how we choose on a day-to-day basis, to being where we are. But it started before that. I mean, let's be honest. Up until about 2019, so 2016 through 2019, everything was on track. I lost about 150 some pounds. And 2019, I left a long-time job. I was working, excuse me, working a total loss auto claim job to go work in a new field of insurance, working like, looking over life insurance policies, getting them started. And there's a big change. And I noticed that when I went to buy clothes for that new job, because the two jobs were very much different, the auto insurance claim job was much more relaxed. We could basically wear whatever we wanted to the office. We were not front-facing. And we weren't necessarily front-facing on the other job either. But when I went to go start purchasing clothes for the new job, I was buying clothes smaller than I had bought before high school. Because in high school, I was wearing 42-inch pants under the gut, Because I remember, because the pants that I would wear, the biggest size they came in was 42. XL, double XL, triple XL shirts my entire life, getting into 4 and 5X t-shirts. So when I went to start buying new clothes for the new job, I was buying, single and double X, depending on the cut, the fit. Not all shirts are created equal, right? And I was buying 38-inch pants, which is smaller than I had worn in almost my entire life. My confidence was at a huge high. I got this job that I wanted to get. I wanted this job because it was a pay raise. There was a lot of things going on with the new job. And here I am buying clothes that actually fit, that weren't in the big and tall section. And I start this new job and it doesn't go quite the way that I want it to go. It's a little more difficult, not necessarily difficult, but it was a very long learning process. And there were some detours along the way in me learning this new job. I was in the middle of learning my primary role, and then they broke me off with a couple of other people, and they were having us learn a different role kind of in the middle. And it just didn't quite go the way I wanted. And there was a departure of community. This new job, yes, I had gone to work there because a lot of people I knew had gone to work there. So there was a lot of people that I knew who worked there, but it wasn't the same. For anybody who's worked at a job for 12 plus years, and what really keeps you going to that job is the people that you work with, switching and leaving and going to another job where people have already kind of like solidified who they are and all the things. And I'm sure that this played a big role in it, because I started to gain weight working at this new job, because the clothes that I had bought began to get smaller and tighter. And obviously, and then within a year of working at that job, we went home because the pandemic hit. So we went home, and I was home from then on out. I was in the office for exactly 1 year. My start date and then the date that was my last day in the office were these 1 year apart exactly to the date. And I went home, and then I was home, and I have been home ever since. Now, I lasted about almost a year at that job after being all the way home, but it didn't quite work out. And so I'm no longer with that job, and I haven't been since 2020 rather. So 2021, I really started doing YouTube, being a stay-at-home grandpa, and all the things that come along with that, all the joys, all the benefits, all the blessings that come along with that, along with the unexpected things that come along with that. I'm home all the time. I'm near the fridge all the time. My easy to navigate intermittent fasting is out the window. When you work and you go to a job and you're there by 7 and you're off by 3, and so I didn't eat anything until I got home, but then I would wait to have dinner with everybody at the house, or the same thing when I was working at the previous job. I was working 9 a.m. to 6. So I'd go to work, and I'd come home, and I'd have dinner with the family. So it was really easy to not bring lunch. You just don't have to pack it. You just leave the house, no lunch. So intermittent fasting becomes super easy, barely an inconvenience, because if you don't make it, there isn't any. And I wasn't worried about spending money or anything like that. I had no interest after so long. After living this decade since 2016, or living this lifestyle for a decade, since almost, since 2016, it's very easy to live that lifestyle. And I don't know, maybe if it's like a fatigue of the lifestyle, like lifestyle fatigue, just living that life for so long, like you don't end up like quitting, but like you drift, like you just kind of drift, and you're like, okay, well, we'll eat this a little bit here and we'll eat that a little bit there. And slowly things start to drift. And, whether it's lifestyle, environment, changes and stress and all these things, decision fatigue, or just being at home all the time and not having anywhere to go. You know what I mean? Because we understand that routine beats motivation. Me having that job where I didn't pack a lunch and I would get off work late and get home and just in time to make dinner for the family and sit down and have that one meal. And then we were busy. We would go to bed, get up, go, come home, go to bed. That routine is going to beat motivation every single time. And we understand, like they're, emphasizing habit stacking, small, repeatable actions over willpower based change, right? So, over time, from 2016 up until 2020, when I was at home all the time, it was much, much easier to implement new routines and then being home all the time. Then the food noise, being at home with all the food, even just the normal food, like even when we went home, like when I was at home, I started drinking like 2.5 gallons of cold brew every week. I was making it myself. And I even have a video on how I make it. I made it. I don't even have the container anymore. It was a giant thing. It took up a lots of room in the fridge, and you can go back and dig into my videos and how I made it. It was amazingly delicious. And I would let it steep the entire week. I would never take the bag out. So it would just steep and get stronger and stronger and stronger. And I was drinking like 2 of these a day of it. It was cold. It was delicious, heavy cream in it. Tasted almost like chocolate milk. It was fantastic. But it was so much caffeine, like I started having heart palpitations. So, I mean, and you would think that being home, the simplification would be easier, right? You'd think that I would be here and it would be easier. I don't have to worry about leaving. The stress would lower, and I'm sure the stress was lower. But then again, there's the stress of not having a routine when you're used to a routine for decades, right? When you have I got to get up, I got to leave, I got to do this, I got to get up, shower, leave, go do my job, come home, make dinner, do whatever the case is, and just do your daily things. And then like that completely changes and you have to build a completely new routine. And I mean, obviously there was a lot more napping involved. Let's be real here. I was taking care of the granddaughter. We napped a lot. We'd nap like a couple times a day. That wasn't so, I mean, that was great because, you get to cuddle and, you're going to spend time with someone that, is just the most amazing person on the planet. I mean, they're just sleeping right over here right now. But, it's just, I mean, and it's easy to overlook. It's easy to wave it off. It's easy to make excuses. It's easy to, not pay attention. And I mean, the weight starts to kick back on and you can ignore it. You can do whatever you want to do until you can't anymore. And that's kind of where I'm at. It's nothing super ominous. I think it's something that may happen to all of us at some point. But here I am, doing this coaching courses and I'm looking at how I can help others. And it's like looking at myself in the mirror thinking, well, how can I help me? Can I use this newfound knowledge that I'm gaining every week with our, with this proper human diet PhD coaching course? Can I use it to help me? Will I be a good enough coach to help myself? Will I be good enough to help anyone who comes to me? Will I be good enough? Those are questions that we have, right? Am I good enough? Will I be good enough? Will I, am I all these things? We have imposter syndrome and we have all of these things that kind of stack on us throughout life. And, and it just kind of builds and builds. And, you have to kind of take a step back and go, okay, where am I? What do I need to change? How can I implement these changes? Once I decide on what changes need to be made, how can I implement them? How can I slowly start to stack them together and see real, meaningful, intentional results? I have all of you. You are on my side. You're my cheerleaders, as I'm yours. It's just a lot to take in, and hopefully that it doesn't seem to be too doom and gloom for this balmy -7-degree weather here in where I'm at in Indianapolis. But let me have a drink of water. little thirsty this morning. But how do we move forward? What does this sound like to you? How would you move forward with this? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the comments. I know I've got a bunch here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Evelyn is here. Good morning, Evelyn. I'm so very glad to see you, my dear. So very glad to see you. And she says, hello, Dustin, Bride's Biscuit, Jerry, evil coffee, evil coffee, evil coffee. Speaking of coffee, I have some right here. Bottoms up, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Dish is in the house. Good morning, Brian. I'm glad to see you. Says good morning, Dustin and everyone. 22Q Cat is in the house. Lynn is here. Good morning, Lynn. So very glad to see you, my dear. And Evil Lynn is saying hello to the not so evil Lynn. Good Lynn. Brian Doyle is in the house. Good morning, Brian. Glad to see you. I may be missing some comments, but they're just not showing up because people are saying hello to people that I don't see in here. So if I'm missing your comment, please understand I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just not seeing it because I see people saying hello to Guinea Pig and saying hello to people like Bride's Biscuit and people that I don't see in here. So if for some reason they're not showing me these, I truly apologize for missing your comments. Aaron, Miss Booby Goats is in the house. Good morning, Aaron. Glad to see you, my dear. John Gugahan is in the house. Good morning, Mr. Gugahan. How are you? So glad to see you. Thomas Target Prime Rib is in the house. Hi, eating my first meal and a show. It's like dinner and a movie. You didn't even know it. Aaron says, great idea, John. I've got 2 full baskets in front of me. Coffee first. Indeed. Rick is in the house. Good morning, Rick. And if Rick is here, we know that it's...
Let's get dangerous.
That's right. Woo, got some burpee burps. People are saying hello, and Lynn says, I don't drink coffee. Am I the only one? No, Cindy doesn't drink coffee either. Thomas says, hi, Aaron. I loved your video, and I think Rocky's coat was very stylish. And Evelyn says, Lynn, warm cup of salty caramel vibes or a Coco Loco? Coco Loco. Jeff Foltz is in the house. It's Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. Glad to see you, my friend. And Josephine is in the house. Good morning, Josephine, all the way from the land down under. And Lynn says, great idea. That Coco Loco is bomb. Evelyn, caramel too. Anything warm is wonderful, especially on a chilly day like today. B's in the house. Good morning, B. Glad to see you. Hope you're doing wonderful. And Aaron says, thanks, Thomas. The older kids offered to go back in the woods to find a better tree. Oh, yeah. Sherry Lynn is in the house. Good morning. Getting up for work. We got about 7 inches of snow since 2 p.m. yesterday. We have a bunch of snow, but we got our driveway shoveled. Shander's at work. She got there safe. We're good for now. I do have to go out later today because we're supposed to have our son over for dinner tonight. His birthday was on Friday, so he wants catfish and Brussels sprouts. Woo! Aaron says, I'm going back to OMAD because I jiggle too much on the shake plate. Well, you don't want to get rid of all the jiggle, I guess. I don't know. Thomas says, I jiggle on the shake plate. Oh, my goodness gracious. Like jiggly, Jello. Thomas says, it had snowed here. They are outside plowing as we speak. Oh, yeah. Sean Bradley's in the house. Good morning, all. Packing up the car to go head back to Virginia. We'll be back home around 4. All right. I hope you had a wonderful time on your cruise and your time in Florida and all the things that you and Show had a chance to do this last week. I hope it was wonderful and I hope it was relaxing. Be safe and make it home safe, please. Evelyn said, we got snow under a level 1 travel advisory. Surprised it isn't a level 2. Oh, yeah. B says, I've gained 10 pounds since Thanksgiving. Husband hasn't talked to me for a month now. I have no idea what to do anymore, y'all. I'm drifting. Well, the husband side of things, I don't really know what. I don't know. I don't know how to handle that. But gaining 10 pounds since Thanksgiving is, that's a little bit of weight there. I mean, I would say go back to basics. Start tracking again, see where you are, and gives you a good idea of where to start. I mean, that's kind of like what would be my go-to for me. I just go back to tracking for a little while. What am I actually eating? What do I think I'm eating versus what I'm actually eating? How do I simplify that? How do I go back to basics and, kind of handle that? B said, hi, Sean, it's Becky. Hi, Becky. So B, Becky, okay. All right, I got to remember that. There's Carl. Super cold and wintry here in the Northwest Ohio. Brr. Glad I have coffee in the morning regulars. That's right. Thank you all so very much. All of you who are members of the morning regular group, I appreciate that very much. I appreciate if you're a member level, morning regular level. That's amazing. Thank you so much for being amazing and being a member. Cindy is here. Good morning, Cindy. So very glad to see you. Brian says, Grok is trying to convince me. So if you're not aware, Grok is the embedded Twitter X AI, kind of like ChatGPT, but involved with Twitter and X, Twitter or X, however you decide to call it. It says, reduce my coffee intake to just 24 ounces a day. I am onto my second 40 ounce already this morning. I would say if you feel like you should reduce your coffee, you probably should do so. But I would be looking at how much caffeine you're taking in and kind of be cautious about it. Caffeine is a drug. It's a hell of a drug. Sean says, Becky, sorry you're going through all that. Sending hugs. Just take care of yourself. 100%. Cindy says, just popping in to say hi. Deb is here, so we'll be listening and doing other things while doing so. Well, good morning, Deb. Don't let Cindy be mean to you today, okay? You just knock her around a little bit if you have to, okay? Hanging out with Jen is here. Morning, y'all. Morning. Glad to see you, my dear. Welcome. Whew, I feel like I haven't had enough caffeine today. Oh, my goodness. Sean says, take care of Deb, Cindy. Hope she's feeling better soon. Yeah. Jason Warely is here. Good morning, Jason. I don't know. Forgive me if you've been here before. I don't know if we have met before, but welcome. If not, welcome back if you have. And like I said, forgive me. It's hard to keep track of everybody who comes in and out. I just don't recognize the name, bud. But welcome. And Cindy's saying to Becky to go ahead and reach out. Of course. Lean on the community. Christian Delorme is in the house. Hello. Welcome, Christian. So glad to see you. Bonjour, everybody from Montreal, Quebec. Welcome. Glad to see you. Hope you and your wife are wonderful. Welcome and thank you for being here. Good to see you. Jason said it's been cold here in northern Maine, 2 miles from the Canadian border. Woo! That's pretty crazy. Welcome. Almost Canadian. Hanging out with Jen says, may have to press all messages. Yeah, I've got it on all messages when I'm looking here because I use a program called EV Mux that streams to 3 different platforms. I think I can stream to 4, but I don't really have a 4th place to send it to. Evelyn said there were comments that were much earlier that got cut off from Jerry and Brian's Biscuit. They were calling Lynn and Guinea Pig number 2. Brian wasn't in this morning. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Evelyn. I appreciate you. Keto Living Lisa is in the house. Good morning, Lisa, my dear. Welcome. So glad to see you. Bacon Runner is in the house. Welcome. Glad to see you. Good morning. And Aaron says, thank you to Cindy for joining the membership. Well, that's wonderful. I love that. Sharing the love. People saying hello to Donna. I'm guessing Bacon Runner is Donna. Welcome, Donna. Thank you. Brian Doyle says, flying to North Carolina for a week of training in the morning, flying back, or trying to pack while I listen. Fantastic. Always doing something, never sitting still. Good on you. Terry Girl's in the house. Good morning, Terry. Glad to see you, dear. A winner chicken dinner yesterday over in Jerry's Live. I won a $15 BW3 gift card. I'm pretty stoked about that because we like to go there for date nights. Get some chicken wings. Chicken wings! Jason's asking, will AI turn to artificial general intelligence by 2027? AI is a weird thing, that especially the way that AI is, how we're utilizing it now. I don't see it mimicking human, like legitimately mimicking human, because humans are irrational. Humans are, human. And I don't think a machine learning can figure that out and be truly human. So I think we've got a long time before it really does anything super scary. I think really all it's going to do in the meantime is be very energy inefficient. Maybe we can utilize AI to become more energy efficient. But I think like I'm a person who I utilize AI to help me in my daily tasks with the channel and with coming up and building scripts and helping me do things that would take me a lot longer where I can do them much faster so that I can get more done. I think that's where we are. Lisa said, so glad my son found a ride to work. Otherwise, I'd have to take him to work with no heat in my car with negative 24 wind chill. I wouldn't have made it. Well, I'm so glad that you had someone to give them a ride to work, and you can stay home all snug as a bug in a rug and hang out with us today. Well, welcome, and so glad. Bacon Runner says, babysit till midnight and then up at 3:30 to take sister-in-law to the airport, sitting in a restaurant, eating bacon now. Sounds phenomenal. Have fun with that. Lisa says, plus not feeling good this morning. Woke up with a bad headache and swishing in my ears. That's no good. I've been putting eardrops in Chandra's ear for a week. So morning and night, I had to put 5 drops in her ears, and I got to get her down level. I got to squeeze them right in her ear hole, right in her ear canal. And then she has to lay on her side for so long and let those soak in. And, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. Ugh. I'm struggling today, boys and girls. Ugh. But after today, she doesn't work until Christmas. So that'll be nice. As we have the granddaughter coming on Friday. Christmas is like late next week, so we've got plenty of time to spend time with that baby and hang out with our girl. And there's a YouTube channel of a house or a old school building here in Franklin, Indiana, that a couple bought and turned into a house, and like they've documented it all on a YouTube channel. And we watched this video a couple weeks ago, my granddaughter and I, and she wants to go down and see it. So sometime over fall break or winter break, I'm going to drive her down there to see it. It's going to be kind of cool. It'll be kind of nice to see something, from YouTube and real life kind of thing, Yeah. Sherry Reagan's in the house. Good morning from a balmy 4 degrees in Leavenworth, Kansas, working on staying warm. Yeah, it's -7 here. I don't know what the wind chill says. Wind chill's 11 degrees. I don't know what it feels like here. But that's pretty rough. It's pretty rough this morning for here. I've got a heater on for the cat out in the garage, but he's too dumb to lay in front of it. Like he comes crawling out of somewhere else, and I'm like, there's like a heating pad and a heater right there. He can lay on the pad and lay in front of the heater. But I don't know what his deal is. And maybe he's trying to freeze to death. I don't know. Yeah. Evelyn says caffeinate. Lisa, caffeinate. I'm trying. Oh, man, I'm trying today. It's only 8:06. We are 34 minutes into this live, and I am struggling. I'm almost all but caught up with the chat already. Y'all are not chatting enough. Aaron says, Lisa, I have a headache too. I think it's the weather and the dehydration for me. Yeah, I have a video that I put out last year for wintertime. It's to make sure that you're dehydrating, because people forget that you can dehydrate in the wintertime because we're so fixated on hydration in the summertime. But wintertime, we can get just as dried out and just as dehydrated because of the cold, the dry. It's even drier. So be mindful of dehydration. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure you're using, things like salty, grape. Try to use these where you can. Salt your food. Do whatever it is you need to do. Stay hydrated, my friends. Stay caffeinated. Stay hydrated. I'm going to drink some more water, too. I've got plenty of water here. Oh, my goodness. It's just dry. Cold and dry. Whew. Becky says, thank you all. I'm going back to beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Beef, butter, and eggs. Do it. That sounds like a perfect thing you can do. Jeremiah, my good friend, is here. He says, good freezing morning, friends. -5 here, and it feels like -23. Staying home today. Good plan. Good plan. I saw the video you sent me of you plowing your driveway yesterday or last night. Don't you have kids and they should be doing that for you? You know what I mean? They're teenagers. Good, strong teenagers. Yes. I did want to take a moment and say thank you. Bear with me here. I need to bring something up because I wanted to say thank you because we have put a baby registry up on my ketosimple.shop link if you would like to check that out and see what we have on there. If you would choose to want to look at things for that for the baby, which will be here on Friday. Obviously no obligation, but we did put this up, and I did want to say a thank you to somebody. I wanted to say thank you for contributing to some diapers. Brenda Foley, she's amazing. She contributed some to a diaper fund. So we're truly, truly grateful for that. So again, no obligation, but just wanted to say thank you to Brenda. And I want to say thank you to Cindy. And I want to say thank you to Chris and Ash, as I did get your guys' Christmas cards in this week. Truly thankful to have amazing people in my life like you. And I didn't think Cindy was going to send me a card because we don't send cards, but it's always nice to receive one. And Ash and Chris were truly amazing and sent us a card to the family, and I'm truly appreciative of that, thinking of us this time of year. Brides, Biscuits in the house. Biscuit in the house. Good morning, Dustin. What's up, Ferb? Welcome. So glad to see you, Biscuit. Hope you're doing well. Aaron says, I'm drinking my coffee black this morning. I've cut the cream. You know what? I don't know. Cream is just one of those things. Like, if it becomes to me being fat and having cream, I guess I'm just going to have cream. You know what I mean? Like, I've given up so much, right? But just a little bit of cream, some butter in my coffee. That's like the little things. Oh. As soon as 10:15 a.m. hits, I'm having keto brains in my coffee. I've had it black for 36 hours. Well, look at you, Evelyn. You're doing the things and doing the stuff. I love it. Yeah, Lisa says, I've got some keto brains. Maybe I should use it. I should use it. You should use it. Lisa's got to make a new cup of coffee. Evelyn says, I have a keto brains every day. My favorite way to drink it. I add a couple of tablespoons of hot coffee to a scoop of keto brains and use a frother and whip it until the whole cup is full of foam. Oh, yeah, full of foam. When you're sliding into home and your pants are full of foam. Anyway, when you're sliding into first and your pants are about to burst. I am 11, I'm telling you. You guys don't believe me, but I am. Amy, she says, good morning. Having a hard time getting out of bed this morning. I'm exhausted. Well, lay in bed. Just listen. Have a good time. Listen to the sound of my voice and lull yourself back to sleep. Hold on a second. I need to blow my nose. All right. Glad you didn't have to hear that. People are saying, good morning. Lexi Jones is in the house. Good morning, Lexi. Glad to see you, dear. How are you? Hanging out with Jen says you can never have enough diapers. No kidding. Because you can put one on and then you'll be putting another one on in like 3 seconds. Sometimes you got to put a different one on as you're putting one on. You know, little boogers like to pee and poop. Evelyn says, I know that song. I hope so. I hope everybody knows that song. I hope everybody went to elementary school with some flavor. Oh, my goodness. Evelyn says, I need more coffee, but there's a dog sleeping in my lap. Ugh. Just let a sleeping dog lie. Isn't that the saying? I'm already caught up. It's a rough day today. It's that cold takes a toll on you. It's just... Oh, let me let some of these comments build up a little bit. Let me go back to my list of things to talk about. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, one of the things here that I have in here is community reflection moment is ask the chat, have you ever drifted without realizing it? Did life changes quietly undo your routines? And what's one small habit you know actually works for you? Sound off in here and let me know. And yeah. My goodness, I am struggling today. This might be an hour-long show today. We'll have to wait and see. This coffee's not doing its thing. Oh. And Lexi asked, is this a real song? Yeah. It's a real song. It's diarrhea when you're sliding into first and your pants about to burst. Diarrhea. I forget what second is. Let me see if I can look this up. Running down the gutter with a piece of bread and butter. Running down the gutter. So some people think it's funny, but it's really wet and runny. Sorry, relate. Bob had diarrhea. I don't know. Let me see. When you're sliding into first, your pants begin to burst. When you're sliding into second and you can't wait and you have to wait a second. When you're sliding into third and you lay a juicy turd. When you're sliding into home and your pants are full of foam. Other variations, when you're climbing up a ladder and you feel something splatter. When you're walking around the town and your underwear turns brown. when you're at a bar drinking and something starts stinking. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Nothing like elementary school stuff, you know what I mean? I don't know about the bar part, but you know. Biscuit says black coffee, you're my hero, Aaron. I'm trying to get there, buying low acid, smoother bougie coffee. Might try some salt in it too. You know, try some butter. Butter. Yes, Lexi, it is a real song. Jeffifa says, I will be traveling home later this week. Looking forward to seeing the family. I love it. Aaron, I was singing along. Never wake a baby, let a sleeping dog lie. Yeah. Yeah, my coffee is broken. I don't understand. Yeah, intense stress made me fall off the carnivore, but I've decided to put me first. Yeah, I think you should. And Evelyn says, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Or in my case, just keep breathing. Breathing is very important. I'm having trouble doing that right now. My nose is all stuffy. Hear that? And then it's not like, I need to get myself one of those little neti pots, like one of those like things like, and it just shoves everything out. But it's probably a little more inflammation than not, but you know. Lisa says, Dory, my spirit animal. That's right. Biscuit says, watching at chipmunk speed. Good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, Cindy. And Becky says, more coffee, Dustin. I'm trying. I've got it here, and I'm trying. Aaron says, I'm going to be live this afternoon on John Laspina's channel, Carnivore Teacher 12 Central. All right. I may keep bringing it up so I don't forget. Hey, if somebody can find that live, and if there's a link, put it in the chat for Aaron so we can share that out. And Aaron said, perfect song for when you eat too much fat on carnivore. Or eat those new Oreos when those come out. They've got the maltitol and the sorbitol and all the things at all. And you're like, when you got to run and you. Sherry Lynn says, where can I send you pics of the pizzellas I made? I rarely use Instagram and didn't know you can't send pics in DM. You should be able to send me a pic there. I would think you should be able to do that. Let me see. If you send me a message, if you send me a regular message, I'll reply to you, and I think then you can send me a picture in there. Or I think you can send me one on my, you can create a post on my YouTube. I think you can create a post on my YouTube, and then I should be able to see that there, I think. I'm not sure if you can put pictures there or not. I guess it'll be something fun to try, right? John Gugahan is off to church. Mr. Gugahan, hope you have a wonderful, safe day, my friend. Keep warm, please. Be safe, keep warm, have a good time, and we'll see you sometime soon, my friend. If we don't see you before, have a Merry Christmas. I hope we will see you soon. I hope we see you before that. I got a Tuesday live coming up, Sunday live coming up after that, then another Tuesday live before that. We got some time before Christmas. Should see you. Hope. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Evelyn says, yeah, we need to have a keto carnivore version of that song. When you're going carnivore and the fat is so much more, diarrhea. Diarrhea. Oh. Some days I'm just raring to go, and some days like just the tired just creeps in. And usually I'm like last week it took me 2 hours and 45 minutes to get through the chat, and today it took me less than a half hour. Y'all are just sitting back snoozing on me. Y'all are just snoozing. Sleeping on the job. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Biscuit says, I won on Barbara's. I got emotional first time winner, and the experience invoked my recently departed sister in a serendipitous moment, and I was filled with the warmth of her watching over me. Well, that's fantastic. I'm sorry for your loss, Biscuit, but I'm glad that you won something from Barbara. Truly, truly love that. I love that we're also giving, and I'm glad that there's so many people out there just being generous with their time, their money, their gifts, and all those things. And it's one of those things that truly serves the community, because a lot of us need that. We just need our community more than we need anything else right now, and especially this time of year. So, Lynn said she'll try that. Hopefully that works. I'm so sorry. I am trying. Ugh. Ugh. Aaron's got to go shopping. We'll have a good one. Be safe. Stay warm, my dear. Take plenty of coffee. Cindy says, all your yawning making everyone tired enough to snooze on the job? I am trying. I'm trying. Oh. I've been up since 5:45. Ugh. Amy said, Juliet sent me an extra keto mojo she had, and I tested, and I'm not in ketosis. Ugh. Okay, let me know exactly what was your reading there, Amy. I want to know. Risa's in the house. Good morning, all. Let me get my coffee and electrolytes. I have several inches of snow, and it's the first of 4 days off. Oh, yeah. And Amy says, sorry for your loss, Biscuit. And Lisa says she definitely needs community this time of year. Yeah, we all do. Jeff says that winter solstice this week. I was trying to explain that to the granddaughter. I was like, on December 21st, it's the longest night, shortest day. And then we start moving back into having longer days till we get to June 21st, where it's the longest day and the shortest night. And then we start to lose daylight again. Yeah, we love the gift of giving. And Lisa says, I've been up since 4:30. Amy said, blood sugar 91, ketones 0.3. You're in ketosis. If you register any ketones, in my opinion, that is ketosis. Now, you'll have people that say if you're below 0.5 or whatever. I think if you're registering any ketones, your body's in ketosis. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have 1 or 2 millimolar. That's ridiculous. I think as long as you're registering something, I think you're good to go. So I wouldn't freak out. I wouldn't be worried. I would be like, hey, that's perfectly fine. And depending on what time of day you ran that, it could be a time of day where your blood glucose is higher. Maybe the dawn effect is in effect. If you ran it early in the morning and you're just now getting up and moving around, that could be the dawn effect. It could be just your body's way of saying, hey, it's time to wake up. Let's dump some glucose and let's get moving. I think that this idea that ketones should be always overruling glucose, but our body utilizes glucose all day, every day, and it utilizes ketones both. So the fact that you could be very efficient utilizing ketones, so your body's using them as you're running through them, so you're not seeing them as much in like a reading. So I wouldn't worry, I wouldn't panic, I wouldn't feel discouraged, because I would say as long as you're reading 0.3, 0.2, even 0.1, that's still registering ketones in your blood. And I would say you are in ketosis. You're doing fine. Becky says, putting all y'all on speaker. So I should say things that are inappropriate. I should sing the diarrhea song more. I will check in while doing house chores. Keep talking, Dustin. I'm here to do those things. I'm doing the best I can. And Biscuit says, thank you, Amy. We were very close, partners in crime, and I think about her all the time. Yes, the gift giving was warm and touching. I watched Jerry stream too. Yeah, I saw you in there, Biscuit. I was in and out a few different times doing stuff throughout the day. Had a lot of stuff going on. I don't always have time to just sit and watch the YouTube like I want to. Yeah. Carl says, habits for me. 1, meal schedule. Best in prioritizing protein, add fat, but I need a ton of protein. I feel best with beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I add some veg for entertainment. Yeah, for sure. And Becky says, I do different variations of coffee and always come back to black coffee. I can drink black coffee. I just prefer with cream. Amy says, it was 10:30 at night and I was snacking on bacon and eggs because I was hungry after my concert. Well, how stressed out were you from the concert and getting home and driving and all that snow and everything? How stressed were you? That's going to be something that's going to shoot up blood glucose and maybe stunt some ketone readings. You know what I mean? Biscuit says, I didn't need more proof that our community is filled with warm, caring people, but it was beautiful to experience you all sustain me. Well, that's so loving and great to hear. And hopefully that we all feel that way. And Alexi says, I haven't tested my ketones in a while. I'm too worried. I'll be disappointed at how low they are. Again, like I'm saying, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the reading because I don't think we truly understand what our readings of ketones mean. I think that's looking at the number, that's the amount of blood that's in our blood. Doesn't mean that that's not how efficient we're utilizing them, creating them, burning them, using for fuel. I just don't think we know enough yet to be totally discouraged by a number like you're 0.2 off. Oh my goodness, no, who cares? Just run it. And if you're 0.1 and above, be happy with it. Just be happy with it. And Lexi said it might make me slip, unfortunately. Yeah, I would say knowing yourself is important, but also kind of get to a point where you have to understand that ketones, like your weight on a scale, don't always mean what you think they mean. So you can step on a scale and be up 2 pounds, but be down a dress size. You know what I mean? You can be up 5 pounds on a scale, but be going to the next hole smaller on your belt. Those things, I think we truly need, I just think that we need, I just think we need to just truly need to just let things be, I guess. I don't know. Sonny's in the house. Good morning, Sonny. So very glad to see you this morning, my dear. Cindy's got to go. Everyone have a great day. You have a great day. Stay warm and take care of Deb. Love you both. Lisa says, I've been using the nut pods half and half in my coffee. I just use heavy cream. It's cheap. It's the plentiful I can buy to the grocery. It's delicious, and I love it. I love it so much. Biscuit said ketosis versus deep ketosis and some Dr. Boz next level science. I haven't felt the need to go there yet. And I kind of think not everybody truly needs deep ketosis all the time. It's kind of like I think we need, it's like when we're living for a decade in, like standard American diet and we're never in ketosis and our blood sugar is always high. And then we go and we switch, and then we try to keep our ketones high. I kind of wonder, what's, there's probably a time and a place for therapeutic ketones. I think that there's a time probably while we're fasting or asleep at night that our ketones are probably higher. And maybe when we're awake, they're not as high because our body's moving and we're running around and we're doing things. And, you know, I just kind of wonder, like, are we sabotaging ourselves looking at these numbers all the time? Whether it's a number on a scale, number on a ketone meter, a number on a glucose meter. Like if you wake up in the morning and you're like, why is my glucose 110? I haven't had any sugar in 3 days. It could be the dawn effect. It could just be your body doing its normal thing, or your ketones being 0.3 instead of, you know, 0.7. It's just part of the daily cycle our bodies go through. And I think if we had continuous glucose monitors and continuous ketone monitors that were fully reliable, I think we could start to get a full pattern of how our body utilizes them and runs them. And I think that would be better. But I think we're still a little ways away from having continuous ketone monitors, because I've seen them I've seen like creators review them, but I haven't then seen them anymore. So I don't necessarily know if that company succeeded or whatever. I know that this company had reached out to me, asking if I wanted to try them, but I didn't get back to them because I wasn't sure if I trusted the company or not. But, you know. And Reese says, Amy, it must be stressful to drive in that kind of snow. We got 3 inches last night and my son called out of work. They said they expected it. Stacy, hope you and Ken are doing wonderful. I miss you guys. I love you both very much. Watching you on replay could not get me out of bed in the warm. I don't want to be out of my bed. I want to be snuggled up in my bed too right now. We'll maybe talk for a little bit here and we'll see how things go, but the bed is calling me. This coffee's not really doing the trick. Lexi says, I'm going off of carnivore and vibes for now. Do you, boo. Do you, and do what you need to do. But I would say don't let little numbers like the scale and ketones throw you off your game. You know what you need to do. You know how you feel your best. Don't let some arbitrary number throw you off and make you feel like crap. Okay, dear? That goes for all of us. All of us. We all need to realize that these arbitrary numbers like gravity and all that. I mean, if you step on the scale and you've gained 50 pounds, by all means, look at what you're doing. Look at, go back to basics, go back to tracking, look at what's going on. But if you're up 5 pounds for the week, that's okay. It's all right. And Becky said, Dustin, try to irrigate the nasal passages with, hold on. There we are. Try to irrigate your nasal passages, saline or a water. It helps me. Yeah. I just don't have anything like that right now. I might try to find something when I go out today. Whew. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm struggling today, boys and girls. Risa says, community is everything. Community doesn't get energy or angry with you when you eat actual potato pancakes on your holiday. And yes, I will. And I'll be making potato pancakes and real. Yeah. Yeah. We're not here to get angry at you. We're here to support you. Celebrate you. Biscuit says, NYC got snow for the first time yesterday, but in true NYC style, it was a ½ inch. We got either that or a foot plus. Yeah, I love watching those the Casey Neistat videos where he's like out there like having cop cars pull him and he's like sledding in the snow. That's crazy stuff. That's one reason I want to go to New York, is to try to run into Casey Neistat. And Risa says, just found a peppermint mocha nut pod in my pantry. Perfect timing. Still haven't finished the pumpkin spice one. Whoo! Jerry's in the house. Good morning, everybody. Here are today's stats. Hot off the Keto Mojo. Ketones 1.9. Blood glucose 86. GKI equals 2.5. I'm not sure what that is. High level of therapeutic ketosis. I feel like Cindy today. Beautiful. I think the highest I've seen while fasting is 7. 7 on the ketones. Evelyn says we always got the lake effect in Chicago, much more mild winters in Ohio. Yeah. Biscuit says I took a break from my CGM. Now that my type 2 is in remission, I'll recheck in a few months. Good idea. It's kind of good to kind of do it. I think kind of getting an idea of every few months to kind of see where you are. But doing it all the time, I think you just kind of become like, whatever to it. You don't actually pay attention to it anymore. Risa says, I'll be spending several hours prepping holiday food today. Hanukkah begins at sundown. Yeah. Happy Hanukkah. Whew. Biscuit says, learning to trust the process to help me with my cortisol and stress. Yeah. Just learning to know that, I mean, just keeping tabs on it every once in a while, sure. But living and dying by these numbers is not helping anybody unless you truly need to for therapeutic reasons. Like you need to have a high level of therapeutic ketones because of seizures or things like that. Otherwise, 0.3, you're golden. You're good. You look at your scale, you're up a pound, you're down a pound. It's okay. Oh, Evelyn says, my dog is warm and cozy in my lap, but Carl was nice to refill my... Well, you know, Carl is the man, and we love Carl. Be sure to high-five him, hug him, kiss him, whatever you need to do to show that man that you care and you love him. Give him a hug for me. I'll be okay with just a hug from me, you know, maybe a nice firm high five, a good handshake, a hug. I think that's good for me, you know what I mean? Anything above and beyond, that's on you. But, you know, Biscuit says, I made a 12-ounce coffee this morning, usually 8 to 10 ounces. Was up late with Barbara. It's barely working for me, too. I'm struggling, y'all. I love being here with you, but some days I'm just like, I was here 4 hours last week. Biscuit says neti pots freaked me out, but I did use them when I was kiddos were younger during my oh yeah Evelyn says that they made faux potato soup with radishes and turnips. That sounds yummy. Risa says I have a 5-pound bag of potatoes. It's calling my name. I'll cook about half of it today, bringing a batch of potato latkes to friends at work and all the rest for the family and the couple for me. I mean, you know, do you. We love you and we're here just for you. Jerry says, happy Hanukkah. Risa, now I know why you were missing from yesterday's Christmas party. It's Hanukkah. Duh, me. Happy Hanukkah, Risa. Yeah. Biscuit says, my daughters convinced me to make my world famous home fries this weekend. I'll be buying more potatoes, lots of butter, onions, paprika in there to pray for me. Oh, 100%. Hanukkah begins tonight. Jerry, I missed your Christmas party because I had to work an 8.5 hour shift alone. My manager called in someone to work with me and they didn't show. Rude. Biscuit says, so true, Dustin. Sometimes numbers sit to our detriment. We need some need to. Sure, I never felt the need to look at macros personally. More about intuitive for me and learn what I mean, I think, and you know, and if you're first starting out, just kind of track to get an idea of what it is, what a macro takes, like hitting kind of like a generalized amount of food takes. Like, what does 150 grams of protein look like? What does, 200 grams of fat look like? What does your carb count look like? What does it all look like? And you can do that for a little while, but then you become accustomed to it and you just kind of get to know it better. And that's kind of what we want to do, right? That's what we want, to become intuitive and find that satiety and just have an understanding of what it is you're doing. And I think checking in on that from time to time is beneficial, but harping over every single number every day, checking the scale every day, run it. I mean, unless you absolutely need to, like you're a type 1 diabetic or whatever the case is, and you have to keep track of all that stuff, sure. But most of us don't. And I think a lot of us utilize those and they stress us out. Oh. Risa says, Evelyn, I've been working alone at least once a week lately, but either he lied to me or they didn't show. It was a lot. Now I have 4 days off. Perfect timing for the snow. I love that, Risa. I mean, I hate that you're working alone, but I'm glad you got 4 days off. It's nice because Shander is now off after today. She's off for, I have to bring up my calendar to have an idea here. So she's off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then she goes back to work on the 25th. And then she's off then she doesn't go back till she's off the 26th, 27th, and goes back the 28th. And then she's off again for the first week of the year, basically, until the 3rd of the new year. Oh. Hit the likey button, the like button, please. I appreciate that. We need that. We need it. We need it. We need it. Biscuits' evil amount of thumbs. That's what I'm talking about. Evelyn says, I just hit the thumbs up until it ran out of room. I love it. But we're at 1 hour and 12. I think we're going to call it a quits for today. I know that that's not what you guys want to hear, but I'm struggling. I love each and every one of you. It's been a long, rough day. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be a long, rough day for everybody. It's -7 here. I have to leave and go out in the great wide open sometime today, and I'm going to need a little more rest before I do that. I love you guys. I love all of you so, so very much. Thank you for joining me for the last 1 hour and 12 minutes. I'll make it up to you this week with a longer Tuesday live, maybe. We'll see, maybe going in the evening. We'll see what's going on. But all of you, thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate all your faces. I love you so very much. Happy Hanukkah. And with that, here come those credits.